O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. Save me from all them that persecute me, and deliver me, lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces, while there is none to deliver. Psalm 7, 1-2. Psalm 7 opens with David's urgent plea for divine protection. The superscription identifies this as a psalm of David, which he sang unto the Lord. David begins with a declaration of relationship and trust. O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. This isn't casual religious language, but a profound statement of faith. The Hebrew word for trust here carries the meaning of seeking refuge or shelter. David doesn't just believe in God in an intellectual sense. He runs to God as his place of safety. Notice the personal nature of David's address, my God. This reflects the relationship between David and the Lord. David doesn't approach God as a distant deity, but as his personal protector. This intimate relationship forms the foundation for his confident appeal. The psalm continues with David's specific request, save me from all them that persecute me and deliver me. David faces real enemies who seek his harm. The Hebrew word for persecute suggests pursuit with hostile intent. David feels hunted, and he turns to the only one who can protect him. In verse 2, David employs vivid imagery to describe the danger he faces. Lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces, while there is none to deliver. The metaphor of a predatory lion captures both the ferocity and the relentlessness of David's enemy. Lions in ancient Israel were known for their strength and hunting abilities. David fears being torn apart, not in a physical sense, but his soul being ripped to pieces. The phrase, while there is none to deliver, emphasizes David's complete dependence on God. He recognizes no human rescuer can save him. God alone must intervene. This acknowledgement of human limitation and divine sufficiency runs throughout the Psalms. This passage speaks to our lives today. We may not face physical persecution like David, but spiritual opposition remains real. Peter warns believers, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. Our enemy still seeks to destroy us. When we face opposition, whether from people who misunderstand us or spiritual forces that oppose God's work in our lives, David's prayer becomes our own. We too can declare, O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. The personal application of this passage challenges us in several ways. First, it calls us to examine where we place our trust. Do we run to God as our refuge, or do we seek protection in human resources, personal abilities, or worldly security? True security comes only from our relationship with God. Second, this passage invites honesty in prayer. David doesn't minimize his danger or hide his fear. He brings his raw emotion before God. We likewise can approach God with complete transparency about our struggles and fears. Third, David's prayer reminds us to recognize spiritual danger. Our culture often dismisses spiritual realities, but Scripture warns of forces that seek to destroy our faith and testimony. Like David, we must remain alert to these dangers and dependent on God's protection. Last, this passage calls us to maintain confidence in God's deliverance. David doesn't just hope God might help, he expects divine intervention based on God's character and promises. We too can pray with this same confidence, knowing that he, which hath begun a good work in you, will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Philippians 1:6.